Hello, Expand Dog. How you doing, dude? Here's the thing. There is a strong possibility. Now, I'm just going to say this. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. Okay? But here's the deal of what's going on right now. As you know, there is a documentary on Review Tech USA that is going to go live in the coming weeks, the next 1 to 2 weeks. Okay? I have a hunch that it's going to go live not this weekend, but probably the second weekend of August. Okay? A hunch. I don't have a guarantee. I have a hunch. That's all I'm going to say. All right? I want to react to the Review Tech USA documentary. That's going to be a big thing. It's an hour long, but you know me. When I react to these things, it usually takes 2-3 hours. So it's going to be a lengthy react to this. I need to make time in my schedule for this. Okay? Well, there has been strong interest in seeing a crossover event between myself and the Kino Casino guys over on Kick. All right? Now listen, before we get into it, I'm well aware that these guys have been very critical of me. They've insulted me and my wife. They have done this kind of stuff. They've also done it to a million other people too. And I've actually had some positive interactions with these guys over the last couple of weeks. And we've had some conversations back and forth. We basically have a understanding, all right, that we kind of want to maybe even do this together, all right, like a co-op commentary on the Review Tech documentary, all right, and we're trying to work out the logistics of that, like how would it work, who would appear on whose channel, etc. All right, and we're working that out right now. But the only way that we can actually get this to work would be to do a test. We can't just do it the day of. We have to test it first so we have it working. So when this documentary actually drops, we could be like, okay, here we go. We're ready to go. Right? So in the next week, there is a very strong possibility that one night I'm going to appear on the Kino Casino show over on Kick. I will not even broadcast it on my end. It will just be, I'll just be a guest on their show for a couple of hours during what would have normally been my late night stream slot. I'll just be over there on their show for a couple of hours to test the waters, to see how it goes. All right. Technically and everything, but also let's see, you know, how does it work? All right. And if it works fine, then cool. We'll do the co-op commentary on the Rich thing. If it doesn't work and I don't feel like it's a good fit, or if we have issues or whatever, then we won't do it. But I feel like this makes sense to give it a shot and give it a try and see how it works. All right. It's only one night stream. It's not like I'm sacrificing an entire day or anything for this. It would be one night stream this week that I would be on their show. Now I'm currently waiting to hear from them on their broadcast schedule for next week to see which night would make more sense. And then the logistics of when I'd be available, I would join them for a couple hours as a guest. I probably wouldn't be there for the whole show, but for a chunk of it or whatever. Okay. Now we'll see how, again, it's a test. We'll see how it goes. All right. So that's coming in the next week. So one of these night streams, probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't know. Well, not Friday. I'm not here Friday, but one of those night streams, likely when they're broadcasting, I'm going to join their stream and just see how it goes together and go from there. Okay. Fair enough. All right. So again, I'm not overpromising and under-delivering here. It's a possibility. We got to work out the logistics. I think it eventually would work. If we could get the technical stuff working and see if, you know, with their audience, how it works and everything. But it could be a good time. We're going to find out together and go from there. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I don't ever have to do it again, right? But at least it's a shot of doing something. All right? Like I said, I've now watched their show twice. And each time I was in the chat, they were incredibly nice. Their audience has been great, coming over, watching my stuff, checking it out, and even supporting it. And I'm like, well, that's nice of them. So give it a shot. And if it doesn't, again, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's okay. All right? So if we try it and it works, then we will have the kinks worked out, and we'll be able to figure out how to make that work for the Review Tech React coming up in that next week. Like I said, I have a hunch it's going to be probably not this weekend, but next weekend that Review Tech documentary will drop on Joon the King's channel. And therefore, if it does, we'll be ready to go. We won't be scrambling. It'll just be ready to go. Okay, it's live. Let's get set up. Let's do this, guys, right? Fair enough. And listen, I totally understand. There's so many people who are in the chat right now and they're like, we don't think this is going to work. We're apprehensive. You're not the only ones. I'm not jumping into this thing full face forward. I'm not. All right? I'm not. And I'm skeptical too. I've been treated pretty poorly by the vast majority of people on the internet over the year, right? I really have. And because of that, it's hard to have trust that people aren't going to turn it into something toxic and messed up towards me and my audience. But I'm going to give it a try. And it's not going to be me fully committing to anything. It's me testing the waters, right? And going from there. So let's see what happens. All right. Sometimes you got to dip your toe into the water and see what the temperature is. All right. Fair enough. Okay. All right. So there you go. And by the way, I'm sure these guys are going to be watching this back, and also they're going to be seeing tons of people in my chat are saying they've been incredibly mean, not only to you, but your wife as well. Is that acceptable? No, of course it's not acceptable. Do you not think that that's something that I would have issue with? First of all, do you really think that's something they're going to do when I'm on the show? Of course not, right? And they know now that anything that they say, I'm going to get wind of it. Like, they know that, right? So obviously we're going to see what happens, right? There's one thing when they were treating me as kind of like this outsider, but now the fact that we've had a couple nights of good conversation on their show, me in the chat or whatever, and we're having some behind the scenes conversations, we have some mutual interests and stuff we want to cover, attitudes can change. I didn't know anything about these guys until like a week ago. So this is all new to me too, right? So there you go. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. You want to insult me, go for it. Call me whatever the hell you want. Say whatever you want about me. I don't think you should be bringing my wife into it. She has nothing to do with any of this. You know what I mean? Nothing. So, okay. Excuse me. All right, so that's also coming up this week. So we've got Nintendo World Championships, Street Fighter 6, the final Marvel Rivals content, more Stardew Valley Chill, React content. We've got the return of SVC Chaos to the mix, and I'm likely going to be appearing on Kino Casino over the next week, but allow me to solidify that with them so I know what night that's happening so you guys are aware of it. Okay? And then we'll go from there. I'm streaming 7 straight days, including today. So there's going to be lots more content coming up, okay? Cool?